Hello everyone and welcome back to Noble's Rest on the 6th of December. Now to start this episode off, we've got some happy news, and that is we've got names for Dromedary and Turkey. They shall no longer be Dromedary 2 and Turkey 1, I believe. No. And you know what, I'm going to save Dromedary 2's name for last because honestly I thought it was bloody genius. I had a right old chuckle at it, I did. Turkey 1 shall be named Boo. There we go. Welcome to the colony, Boo. And Dromedary 2. Now, this one, honestly, was just fantastic. I'm not going to keep the caps, because the caps are just to draw attention to the pun, but Humphrey. There we go. Or Humphrey. Fantastic, truly. I love it. There we go. You can enjoy yourselves there. We'll get some milk, and we will also get a good bit of eggs out of this. Now, Humphrey, interestingly enough, is a pack animal, I believe, yes, with a rather large carrying capacity. A rather large carrying capacity, actually. I like it. Because of its size, its body size, it gets a multiplier to its base value of 2. So, or rather, the base value is 75, and it gets a multiplier of 2, so that should do us quite well into the foreseeable future. And I am very, very happy with this indeed. You know what I would like? I kind of feel that we need some more lights around this colony. Very, very much so, in fact. So to that end, I'm going to drop one light around here and drop another light around there. And I think that should be good. We're also going to build out a little bit of a wall over here as well. We're not going to necessarily put a door there, though that's a possibility, I suppose. In the last episode, I did mention that I kind of wanted some shelving over here that would allow us to do a little bit... that's unfortunate. Is this... no, that's technically not outside, though it kind of is. But I want some storage shelves so that we can guarantee the proximity of certain types of stone. Not that it is strictly going to be necessary. Well, you know what? I'm going to set these to... It's a risky one to do, honestly. It really is risky. I would much rather control when they can do these where possible. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to... let's see. Yeah, sure. We'll copy to clipboard and we'll paste in here as well. There we go. We'll paste in here as well. There we go. And now all of them will be managed at the same sort of distance. That'll work out quite nicely for us, I think. All things said and indeed done. Right, how's everyone else doing at the moment? Let's have a look. Dark Aavak is meditating. I approve, keeping his psi focus up nice and high, and will probably be in generally good spirits because he can eat the most awesome of noms. But he did eat without a table last time, and that wasn't particularly good. I think we need to improve this room a little bit more, though. Generally speaking, I think we probably want some better floors around here. I'm going to go for... Well, what do we have in the way of blocks? We have a good amount of everything. I could use marble. I really don't think we need to, though. I really don't think marble is the right one to use for that. We're going to go for just some regular slate walkways all the way through here. That'll be fine for now, I think. Yeah, something like that, and we can just have the graves there. And over time, we'll change all of those into sarcophagi as the need, as our materials permit. Really, right? Well, let's have a look down here. We're getting the last couple of walls over there. What kind of materials do we have in abundance? We've got a decent amount of blocks. We've got a decent amount of steel, I would say. Let's have a look at furniture. How much is used? Ooh, that's actually quite a lot is used. Quite a lot of steel there. And is it the same for blocks as well? That is... should be... yeah, it's the same for blocks. I'm thinking we're probably going to go with steel. It's going to take us a little bit to get them all built up. We're going to have 4 of them for the 4 different types of stone. So we'll have sandstone, we'll have slate, we'll have granite, and marble. That being said, sandstone isn't natural on this map, although there are instances of sandstone around. It is generally slate, granite and marble, so perhaps instead we will have jade there. But again, jade isn't necessarily natural to the map, so it's a little bit of a questionable one there. We can just set that up as we please, really, and see what we can do. But there we are. The lights have turned on. Marvelous. Now we are definitely going to want some shelving in here as well. So let's go ahead and set that up. And generally speaking, I'm going to want this shelving close to the entrance to the animal area. We'll have something like this. Well, it does look a little bit out of sorts. Yeah, that does look a little bit wrong. So instead, we'll do this, and I'm going to have a little marble wall coming along in the corner there, just to set these out. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is I want the food to be as close to where the animals sleep, and that basically, when they wake up, there's a high probability that they're going to be hungry after a long sleep. It just seems to work out that way, that quite often animals will eat after waking up rather than before going to bed if they were hungry around that sort of time. So I want the first food they see to be the bales of hay grass rather than the hay grass that's growing down here. And that should allow us to make the best use of the space in our farm that we have available to us. Right, with that all done, let's have a look around the rest of the map. Now, we've still got a couple of things that we can check out. We've still got the monuments in here that we can strip down, and there's a big part of me that wants to. That being said, how beautiful is this? It's a paltry 30. Any number of small artworks would be better than that, so we are actually going to take those down. So we'll grab all of those. This we are not going to mess with just yet. I have plans for that. We are going to make that a part of our building over time, largely because if we don't have any crypto sleep caskets, and it's going to take us a long while to get to it. If we have one of our colonists at death's door, they are going to die, and nothing we do can stop that, then the best thing for us to do is to stick them in that crypto sleep casket until we can sort the problem out, until we have something that'll be able to help them with it. The other thing we can do is if someone became addicted to Luciferium, for example, we could use that as well. Now, chunks, stone chunks, I would like this one to be granite chunks, please. And then over here as well, chunks, stone chunks, limestone chunks. Let's get those sorted, please, and thank you. We're going to need a lot more metal moving forward. Hopefully, oh no, it's going inside. Okay, well, you can tear all of that down. That's fine. We will hopefully see some of these items being mined properly in the very near future. We've got some chunks of slag around the map. I'm going to set all of them to be hauled in as people get the means to, and that would be rather glorious. Critical alert, major break risk on Lady Wolfheart. Let's have a quick look at you. What's up? Was imprisoned. Okay, well, yeah, that's going to be there. Minor pain, disturbed sleep, ×2, and sick. Yeah. The issue here is that we currently have her in this room. Now, this is eventually going to become a common room. As I've mentioned, I want to have some dotted little areas with tables around the base, because they will only be willing to walk so far before eating their meal, and I don't want them to constantly have issues with their morale because they ate without a table when there's plenty of places that they could have gone to eat. So that will become a common room eventually. These ones up here, I want these to be bedrooms specifically, so these do need to have discrete doorways into them. So we'll go ahead and we'll isolate these. There we are. That will do very nicely. These will all three be bedrooms, and slowly, little by little, we're going to get to a point where we can have everyone sleeping. That is, a couple of people have mentioned in response to my my discussion on some of the problems of having long form let's plays and how views start to drop off, etc, etc. Quite a few people suggested that, well, why don't I go ahead and set up my the series to kind of have a season, kind of like you see with some television series. So we would instead move on and start a new season, the same world, but we'll meet some sort of milestone and say, okay, well that caps off that season. We'll come back in like a week or two, or 3 or 4, or however long, and continue the story. But this is a nice cutting off point for this part of the story, and I like that idea. We may well make use of that, and if we do, then there are a couple of ideas in my mind for milestones that we could achieve before we say, okay, this season of One Man and His Warg is over, and one of those is that everyone in the colony has their own private bedroom. I would also very much like to have at least 2 farms, possibly 3. We'll see how we do with 3 farms. With 2 farms in terms of the general amount of food that the colony has access to. Also don't want any power issues, so probably going to have geotherms up and running. And some sort of research goal. Honestly, it could be as simple as gun turrets. It depends on how quickly we get to having all of these rooms set up. But those are the ideas. I would love to have a more functional, or rather more well-stocked ranch. We'll have a look into that one, though. That one's going to take a little bit of time, I should imagine, to get around to. Toxic build-up, that's okay for you. How are you, Lady Wolfheart? Yeah, it's fine. Generally speaking, as long as we don't have too many jobs that you need to go out for, you're going to be okay. Now, Ica, I could give you a power claw. I'd rather not, though, because you're not going to benefit from a power claw. I'd rather give you a bionic hand, for example. That would be much, much better for you. Pepster, yeah, left arm completely gone. But Pepster may still be worth, or rather Bone Dragon, may be worth giving that Power Claw to, simply because they are a brawler. Now the thing with Power Claws is it's not necessarily the best weapon to give. A very strong melee weapon is, in many cases, better. We'll see about that. But for the time being, we're going to allow our peeps to go about their business. Now, I want to set up the kitchen area, have this as a dedicated kitchen and butchering zone with the butchery in a separate room, obviously. And then expand this area out to be a proper Great Hall. Those are 2 other things that I would like to be in there before we move on to Season 2, if you like. That's limestone, so this one will be slate. Clear all. There we go. Slate chunk. Oh, wow, there are 5. Well, that is kind of a pain in the bum. It really doesn't matter all that much, I guess. Once we've got, as long as the main 3 are catered for, I guess we could have a final one over here just to be certain about, and then this can be all sorts of miscellaneous stuff that I might be able to build with. That isn't a bad idea, all things said and done. So, sure. Let's go ahead and set that up there, and then we'll have all the rest of this be other types of blocks as and when we have them available to bring in. That way, we will have all of the stone types represented. Now, I wouldn't mind tearing down those ship chunks. We've also got some plasteel down here that I would quite like to bring in. We've got various bits and bobs all over the place. Many areas that we could start to scavenge. We've even got some uranium over there. Another thing that might be worth it is making a slightly faster route up into these caves, but making sure that this one is restricted to only our colonists. And I think that would probably be a very wise move. So to achieve that goal, we are going to want something like a door there. And I would like a little room in there. Just a small area, that 3x3 would do nicely. Down here, much the same, 3x3. And then a corridor. The 3x3 is so that I can put traps. Just there and there. Well, maybe not putting the traps right in the center of the room. It could be a little bit bad for us, but if I put it somewhere further back, if I made the rooms large enough that I could center the trap whilst still having 2 around the doorway, that makes a lot of sense. But generally speaking, I want to be able to put doors in here. Though that being said, thinking about it, it may actually be a lot better to do something like that. Make sure that there is a 2-tile entrance, so the door would exist here, But this is only one tile. Door exists there. That's only one tile. To ensure that if someone were trying to break through the door, only one melee attacker could stand there, but I could have 3 melee attackers there and 3 gunners behind. Honestly, it may even be worth just not putting any traps in there specifically and just leaving this. Maybe I could even have a trap there or a trap there, for example. In fact, that isn't a bad idea, to allow for melee attackers to kind of pile up on either side of the door, thus triggering traps. Will's many enemies. Okay. A 37-year-old cave wielder illuminator named Will is calling from nearby. He admits he profaned a peace ritual between the Shankarig and the Red Snake Ambercan. Now they're both chasing him. He begs for safety and offers to join you at Noble's Rest. Well, no, I don't think we need anyone else just yet. I mean, having more people would be nice, but I'm not going to make it a priority for us. That's not something we're going to be aiming for just now. Instead, let's draw that up there. Make sure that these are all roofed all the way up if we can. There we are. And that should be fine. Right, how's everything going in here? Right, now that we've got the hay grass growing reasonably fast, I'm going to allow them to continue eating the rice down here for a little bit. Hopefully we can get the hay grass up to fully grown, because that's going to be a big help. Really, come on now. That needs to be cleared up, and the only thing that I want here is hay. There we are. And that will be copied to all the others as well. There we are. And this one I believe would be sandstone. This one is currently limestone chunk, so let's copy that over. There we are. Okay, settings. And change that to sandstone. And there we go. All of the stone types are now represented. At this point, we don't have enough jade anymore. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete this, unfortunately. We will eventually get more. Well, that being said, maybe I should have left it there just for the sake of saying that we should always make jade sculptures when we have them. Eventually. We'll get to a point where we can buy plenty of jade to do that. I'll allow that one to sit there and do forever. If we have it, we should make it. But other than that, due to a lack of maintenance training, Yoko has lost a skill. Rescue. Really? Dark Aavak must not have handling nearly high enough. No, handler's on a 3, but that's now going to be on a 2. Please and thank you. My lord, you're not having enough time to spend with your most beloved companions. You're fussing around, cooking everyone else's food. My goodness, this just won't do. Right, there we go. I want to copy these settings and paste them across to the others. There we are. People are going to get really sick and tired of carrying these weapons around. It's really their own fault. There we are. Ambrosia sprouts. Well, they're not going to last very long. So there's really no point in worrying about them. We do have some traders, though. Lady Wolfheart, care you to have a trade once you're done eating? I'll wait until you're done eating for that. Oh, they're leaving. Well, you're faster than them, so that's fine. Okay, let's have a look at what they have for sale. We could sell the go juice. Don't really need that here. They've got some beer. Wouldn't mind taking on some of that if I could do so. That would actually be quite nice. Synthread button-down shirt, sure. We'll get rid of most of the things that are in a poor state of repair. Anything close to 70 needs to go, pretty much. The wooden wall mask needs to go. Everything else can more or less stay. But I really, really wouldn't mind grabbing as much of this beer as we can. How much do you have? 414's worth. That's a reasonable amount, to be fair. That is a reasonable amount. Well, there's nothing much we want to sell, really. I guess I could say goodbye to a human leather duster in order to get all that beer. Sure, okay, that's good enough. We will accept. Lady Wolfheart, if you could haul all this back. Actually, could you stop doing anything and then haul all of it back? There we go. Oh, you can't do it all in one go. That's a little bit annoying. Never mind, you're coming back. You understand what's important. Let's get that beer inside. And everyone can have a drink here and there. Ah, there we are. A little bit of a social drink in the freezer, as you do. Okay, so fairly happy with how we've set up the storage now. That should be used properly with time. Now, we want to get back to digging out these areas. That's going to take us a little bit of work, but it'll be important work to do. So we should probably get to that right away. There we are. We will eventually then be able to set this up with just some joy items, table, some chairs. This will be 3 rooms, and that will allow us to move Lady Wolfheart out of here, and 2 of our other colonists up there as well. So at that point, we will actually be able to free this room up completely. That can then be merged into the Great Hall. So that'll actually be a way to go. Maybe we will then set this back to being Lady Wolfheart's, for example. She does seem to struggle quite a lot with her mood. I mean, fair, I suppose. Everyone in the colony is always giving her a hard time because of her voice. I probably slowly lose my joy as well over that, if I'm perfectly honest. There we are. Dark Aavak's taking care of the animals. Very nice indeed. Okay. Keep all of those animals nice and tame, please and thank you. This is glorious. I'm loving seeing all of that. Dark Aavak's skill with taming should go up very, very quickly as a direct result of that. That's marvellous. Let's find Yoko. Is Yoko's training being restored? No, still need a little bit more work with that, but we will get there. Don't you worry. Humphrey, I don't really want you to be trained to guard, because if I train you to guard, then that might result in some problems. If I'm perfectly honest, that probably wouldn't be the best thing. But keeping everything tame is a very high priority, and I want to make sure that Dark Aavak is working towards that. Now let's make sure that everyone's health is okay as well, because I haven't been really managing that too much. Toxic building up to 7.1. Okay, that one's fine. You are drunk, which is okay, I guess. Bone Dragon, you're fine. Pepster, yeah, everyone's enjoying the beer. I'm glad that we grabbed that, actually. That was a good haul. That was a very good haul. In fact, I'm pretty pleased with it. We are still not doing much mining, though. We don't really have a primary miner. That's the main reason for that one, then. That's unfortunate, but it is going to be the way it is. Right, okay, well, we can start considering the construction of our geotherm. We spent a long time researching this, so it's only fair that we get it built. That will, of course, go right there. So before we do, I want to make sure that the floors are properly paved. I believe it came out that far. In fact, the whole of this room will be surrounded by the geotherm, so I need to isolate it properly. I think it's something like that, actually. Yes, that's where it needs to be. There we go. Then this can be in concrete there. And then the rest of this can be flagstone. We are probably going to lose this little section here of crops. I don't mind that too much. A small sacrifice for the beauty of the room. Research finished. Smithing. Well done. Smithies for crafting metal weapons like knives, gladii or maces, or work metal into clean, beautiful floor tiles. And next in queue, machining. Fantastic. Absolutely glorious, in fact. Very, very happy with that. Pepster's already getting back to work. Okay, so our research is starting to move forward quite nicely. Once we've got machining, we can start tearing down the mechanoid parts that we have here and there. And people are generally, I mean, they're not in the best of moods, I'm not going to lie, but it could certainly be worse. It could certainly be a lot worse. Right, Dark Aavak is not taking care of the colony's food needs because spending all of his time taming and training the animals, but that shouldn't be too terrible. You should be able to get their tameness fully trained and then move on. Right, what are you doing next? There we go. Straight back to cooking. Good. Whew. We almost got to the point where we were out of meals. That would have been quite dire. Quite dire, I tell you. There we are. Nice. And then going to top up some of your own meals as well. Perfect. I approve. Okay, one other thing I've done is, thank you very much for the feedback on this. I completely didn't see that I'd spelt vegetarian incorrectly. Again, this one of the things, I don't do it intentionally. I know it can take episodes and episodes, and if you're pretty good at spelling, you might be like, well, how, this must be trolling. It isn't. I swear. I can spell the or the 3 different ways in the same sentence and not see that I've done that wrong. It's just an artifact of dyslexia, I'm afraid. But thank you so much for letting me know. I do prefer to be corrected with things like that because that's how you learn. Disease, a muscle parasite. Yikes. 3 of our colonists have gotten sick from muscle parasites. Ensure you have a medical bed and a doctor. Make sure that they get proper treatment and spend as much time in bed as possible. The following colonists have gotten it. Lady Wolfheart, Evil Friend, and Bone Dragon. Well, that is rather awful. Rather awful. Let's have a look at you then. Muscle parasites. This doesn't really do anything good. It just makes things bad. Really. Okay. This one is newly planted, so I'm going to... Can I grab just this one place? Can I grab it? Yeah, we go. No, I want this one. There we are. Heal root, please. Actually, are these plants... They're probably grown enough. So, no. Okay, well, we'll use this one then. There we are. I want this to be heal root. I know, we're going to cut down some mature plants here, but I'd rather get this going. Also, I now feel confident enough to adjust the zone for the coop to only be this area from now on. And we'll also move these. There we go. There we are. You can now hopefully move. Once that's done, Ika's going to start planting the heal root straight away because our stocks have dwindled and we're now going to start using it up. Quite quickly, actually, for 3 colonists. That's a pain. That's a real big pain. I'm not going to lie, I'm a bit disappointed with that. That could have come at a better time, and it could certainly have involved less colonists as well. Oh well, we'll do the best we can with what we've got. We've just brought in a harvest, so we've got a little bit of food there. And if they're resting a lot, then, I mean... Well, actually, it's not going to affect their food. It's not like in the real world where the less you do, the less energy you're using up, the less hungry you get. No. Rimworld is like, no, you're this hungry all the time. Right. Okay, so let's go ahead and have some more paved tiles around the perimeter here. There we go. All the way up to designate the border of this outdoor zone. And then we can just fill the rest in concrete. That will look a lot better. I'll be pretty happy with the way that will look at that point. I probably should disconnect you, but we'll leave it as it is for now. Once I see a decent amount of mining going on, we will look to build up the geothermal here. Major break risk here. You're going to be super unhappy because you're in pain due to the muscle parasites. It's not going to be a good time. It's going to get a lot worse before it gets better, I'm afraid, peeps. Right, Dark Aavak, what are you up to? Training Yoko. I'm not going to interrupt that, but once you're done with that, I want you to prioritize cooking. You got to train Yoko first. Come on. There we go. Perfect. Well done. Right. Got a little bit more rice coming in. Good, good, good. Yeah. The break risks are going to be a constant for now. And that is very, very unfortunate, but there's not a lot we can do about it. We just need to keep focusing on bringing in as much materials as we can. And hopefully we'll be able to get some more of the heal root ready before anything gets too nasty. Okay, well, while we wait for Randy to decide what calamity he's going to send our way next, I'm going to pass a little bit of time. We are going to primarily focus on getting the rooms over there and this little corridor built. As soon as we've managed to get that, then I'll be able to harvest the metal over here a lot faster. We're probably still pulling in some of the slag from around the area, or have we managed to do all of that? No, we have. Oh, that's pretty good. In that case, I'm going to set these to be deconstructed as well then. And, in fact, we're also going to set this to be deconstructed. But as I said, we'll be back in a couple of minutes when there is a little bit more to report. So see you soon. Well, you return to a somewhat uneventful point, but also not a great one. As you can see, our food stocks are shockingly low. It's the 4th of December, so a couple of days have passed. And in that time, we have had Lady Wolfheart become obsessed with alcohol, so I had to sell off all of our beer. We had Bone Dragon become obsessed with corpses, so I had to rebury a bunch of people. We've also had Pepster become obsessed with food, and that is directly why we have no food in our freezer. It's okay, Pepsi. Everyone is slowly breaking right now. A lot of people are sick. It isn't the best of times. The eclipse is over, though, and we've expanded our energy production to try and make better use of that. We still haven't managed to pull down everything down there, but that's going to take a little bit of time. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and add in a little bit more mining over there to try and get that at that steel. It's going to take us a while, though, before we can get those last little bits done. We are making progress on tiling this area out properly, though, and it's actually really starting to look quite nice, I think. Still, people are not particularly healthy. We are starting to stock up some of the hay grass. I've had to emergency gather it down here because our animals are not exactly going straight for it. Now, if we have a look at this, nutrient-rich grasses and shoots harvested and compacted for storage. Hay is a good animal feed, but inedible for humans. Now, I assume that our animals here can just eat this hay. I would hope so. Yes, there we go. We can actually see them doing it. I was starting to get a little bit worried because they have still been eating the growing hay grass, and generally speaking, it is so much more efficient if they don't do that. If you can prevent them from eating the hay grass itself, then you'll get a lot more food out of it. I've also gone ahead, and as quite a few people have asked, I've started to plant some dandelions over here, just so that our animals can consume those if they really must eat a growing plant. We've got another harvest coming in right now, so this should hopefully do okay for... Oh, no. Well, there's not a lot we can do. At least they're getting cooked, cannibalism. It isn't raw. But Dark Aavak, I desperately need you to immediately cook. You are not going where you think you're going. Nope. You're going to hold tight there. Bone Dragon, nope. Same for you. Hold tight. Just a few more moments, that's all you need. Just hang tight. We've got 4 wonderful meals right there for you right now. Go and eat your fill. It's fine. You should be okay for a little bit, but yeah, the next bunch of harvests coming in will top that up. We were right down to the wire there, but I think generally speaking we're almost out of the woods. We're not quite there yet, but we're getting there. You'll notice that I have shut down a couple of things because during the eclipse it was actually getting a little bit dicey with power there, and since we have to cook via an electric stove, if that shut down we would have seen a bunch of people starting to eat people meals, and not that it really helped out in the long run, but there would have been a lot more people meals consumed had I not done that. Now, Dark Aavak, if you are coming down here, I want you to do something else for me. I want you to prioritize stripping these tiles, every single one. Now, this is super tedious to have to do this, but it is better than nothing. Let's get everything stripped up. I don't actually know if I'll get any marble back for those tiles, though, so I'll just try and strip one down. No, we didn't. Before you go back, could you haul all of the metal with you? Oh, marvellous. Almost all of it. That's fine. Someone will still have to come down there for that last 5, which is a little bit grating, but it could certainly be a lot worse. Now, as for the treatments, I mean, people are generally getting better, but it is going to take us quite some time before we are through all of those treatments. The hay grass is almost fully grown, and our corn is very nearly fully grown as well, so I'm actually really happy with that one. I could start popping down some lights around here, and I'm actually kind of inclined to do that. I think that's going to be something we're going to need to work on in the fairly near future. For now, though, I'm just going to pull down these marble walls and doors. I don't want them there. I would like them replaced with granite where I can. Granite doors, internally, it's not really necessary, to be honest. We could get away with steel, but if we have the granite available, it is a better resource to build doors out of. And you may also notice, we are currently working on some sculptures. Still got the unused, do not translate. Right, the limestone small sculpture. It's normal. Let's have a quick look at this. How high is the beauty? The beauty is 50, so it's better than one of those enormous steely. Right, okay. This one, a torso-sized piece of material sculpted into artistic form. Hope. Number... Oh, my lord. Okay. What? Why is there an 8 in there? That doesn't make any sense. Unless it is actually meant to be read as XIV8II. You're mixing up your counting systems there. The sculpture bears a representation of a cone surrounded by triangles. At the edge of the image are 2 herons. I don't even know what was going through your mind there, evil friend. Probably something diabolical. Now we've got another one, another normal one. This is still number ZS1 III4. Yeah, that's okay. Something very, very bizarre. This carving is shaped like Lady Wolfheart, lying in bed and shivering uncontrollably. 8 twisted green valleys surround the scene. This portrayal refers to Lady Wolfheart's body becoming toxic. my lord. Did you check with Lady Wolfheart before going ahead and sculpting that? Because that definitely feels to me like the sort of sculpture that you need permission to make. Now, I'm going to try and preserve as much of this hay grass as we can. We're just going to harvest this. Yeah, see, they're already going in there for the grown plants, and that is not ideal. Come along, Ica. I need you to do a little bit more work, though. Honestly, people food does kind of trump the hay grass food, but still. I'd kind of like it if you'd get up there before the animals eat all of the grown hay grass, because we've not really made much progress there, unfortunately. Well. We're going to have to get used to this, because whilst they're all sick, that's going to be going on a lot, unfortunately. It's going to be happening all the bloody time. But on the plus side, we are starting to get some more sculptures, which means Dark Aavak can go on another trading trip reasonably soon and might be able to bring back some things to help. There we go. We've got plenty of food building up, though it's going to be even better once that those corn plants are available. Now, how much hay grass have we got? Not an amazing amount, but it's enough for now, I guess. Where is Dark Aavak off to? Doing more meditation. Always with the meditation. How about, instead, you prioritize moving the hay grass up to storage? Because that might be enough to keep them going and keep them off this hay grass for a little while. That would be ideal. I'm really not sure if the dandelions... I can't select the dandelions to see whether they're growing in this environment or not. One would hope they were, because you can grow them in plant pots without too much issue. But I am starting to feel that maybe the coop, I'm going to have to restrict them from going out here. Now, the reason why I wanted them out here is that I want them to be able to walk through the grass. I want them to be able to feel the grass underneath their feet. I know they can't have, you know, the wide open skies above them, but then no one can on this planet. And assuming that they're native to this world, they should be used to that. But I do want them to be able to wander around. Oh, wait, hang on. On this world, no natural vegetation ever grows, so all vegetation is effectively alien. So maybe it doesn't matter. Okay, I've convinced myself that maybe it's okay. For the time being, you are restricted to this zone, and this zone only. You may wander around in here, eat the dandelions, or eat the hay that we provide. And to that end, I guess I'll expand this little grow zone out a little bit more. There we go. That will be reasonable. Now, once this corn is harvested, I'm going to shear off these 2 points, and probably the same once this hew root is done, we'll shear that off, and then we'll replace the area around here with some proper walkways. It'll look quite nice. I'm hopeful. Oh, dear me. A mechanoid cluster, really? A mechanoid combat cluster is landing nearby. The cluster will be initially dormant, so you can take your time to decide how to attack. It may remain dormant until disturbed, or it may have a timer or proximity activators. Okay, that's far away. Let's pause it. Let's have a look at this. We've got 2 unstable power cells. Each one will set the other off. We have a mech capsule. We have an auto mortar. That needs to die. Really, really needs to die. Okay. We have a couple of pikemen. Alright. But no activation trigger. So maybe we can wait. I'm not sure if an auto mortar is going to be asleep or not. I really can't tell. Doesn't say it's dormant. Yeah, that's going to be a problem. However, these 2 by themselves will probably kill everything there, leaving only the auto mortar and the mini slugger turret to deal with. If I just have someone at a safe distance, plink this a few times, it'll detonate. The explosion will detonate this one. This one will probably wreck most of the stuff here. This one will finish it all off. But what about the mech capsule? A mechanoid storage and deployment capsule. It can contain a number of mechanoids ready to emerge and fight upon being awakened. Alright. Well, we're probably going to have to deal with that reasonably soon. The anima tree is 84% grown. I'm not entirely certain on what we're going to do with this. A lot of people have suggested that we not cut it down, but I feel that would probably be one of the wisest moves, if I'm honest. I think we needed to get rid of it from over there, because that's not a very useful position for us, all things said and done. Could you move that for me, please, and thank you? Cheers, mate. Right, let's go ahead and build back out the walls down here. There we are. And we'll get a nice little granite door in there, as well as some flooring. But on that note, I think we're going to be wrapping up today's episode there. We've got a new issue that I kind of feel... Honestly, if it weren't for the automata, I might just leave this for a while. But the automata scares me. It's going to be ready to fire in 31 seconds. You know what? I guess we can find out whether it's going to be able to fire. Only I'm not going to do that because I'm scallywag, and I'm going to have to leave you to find that out in the next episode. In the very beginning of the next episode, in fact, we'll discover whether this automata is dormant, in which case we can leave this problem for a little while, or better prepare to fight them, or we need to immediately rush out there and attack it as quickly as we can so that we can hopefully wreck the automata and then, deal with the mini slugger turret before it deals with us in no uncertain terms. But that's going to be it for us. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. It's been a bit of an uneventful one. Randy has been suspiciously quiet these last few days, but we've made a decent bit of progress from the 6th of December to the 1st of April, and we are finally at this point starting to work on the bedrooms. Hopefully the issue over here won't cause us too much problem. I may be able to use the mortars, though, to try and shell the unstable power cells. That might be a little bit of a better option. Or have a couple of our warriors go out there and then a few people back at base use the mortars. We'll have to see what we come up with, but that is going to be it from me for now. So one last look at the base, and that's going to be it for this episode. So until next time, and as always, do take care, everyone.